Okay, so I feel like most immigrants don't really tell their stories. So I'm going to use this my fine dressing video as an opportunity to tell you about some of my immigrant experiences here in America. I have a white friend. I don't know if this is a white thing or not, but it's just the experience. So he told me he had a farm in his backyard. So he has, about 20 something chickens, I think, and a couple of other things. But the story is about the chickens. So, and he was planning to slaughter the chickens, and stock up in the fridge. He told me about it, and I thought it was interesting, and I offered to help somewhere in my mind. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna teach him something cool about how we, process chicken in Nigeria. He told me there's 20 of them. Are you sure? I said, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. No problem. So let's just schedule it so that I will come on that day and we can do it together. He was like, okay, cool. So he, we scheduled it. And when the day came, I went to visit him. Actually, myself and my wife and everyone, he has kids too and his wife and his kids are just about the same age as mine as well. So we had, it's, the two families, we got along really well. So I got there and then we started, having fun, talking. He, 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 he gave me my first shooting experience. So we went to his back. This one is hilarious. I'll be back to the chicken story. Let me tell you. He took me to his backyard and for us to go and shoot. So, by the way, he just brought out guns. And I was telling this guy, you have no idea how strange this experience is to me. This is not a typical Nigerian experience. This, like, you don't just go into people's house and they have guns, you know? So, his wife gave permission and we went to the backyard to shoot. So, while we were shooting, he gets a text from his neighbor that I don't want to say his name, but I know he's going to see this video, but uh, I don't want to say his name, so other people don't have to know it's him. Okay, so he gets a text from his neighbor, like, "Oh, hey buddy, I bought a new, the neighbor turned out to have bought some new guns that he thought was really cool. So he said, I bought a new something, something. I don't know the name of the gun. Do you want to try it out? So like the neighbor is asking him to come and take his new gun that he bought so that he can try it out. Americans, man, you guys are built different. Like, of course, he told his neighbor, no problem at all. He thought he was just showing a friend. So he didn't go to get the gun, but just imagine that, guys. Anyway, so af- after we were done shooting, we were back to the house and we were doing all the other things. And he wasn't talking about cutting the chicken. And we were already like 1 hour into our visit. And, I didn't have a lot of time. I had a window of time that I had prepared myself for us to get this done. And so I asked him, what's up? Like, when are we going to cut the chicken? I was like, no, not really, no. So he didn't want me to mess myself up and all, like so it was difficult for him to let me cut the chicken with him. I insisted. And then we went to the backyard where the chickens were. He was now telling me about how to do it and was asking me to sort of like give him an idea because I wanted to show him the Nigerian way. Okay. I wanted to show him the Nigerian way. And And the way that we did this growing up was either you roasted the chicken first. You pluck out the thick feathers, that the one the chicken would use to fly, but those tiny ones all over the body, you leave them there and then you roast the chicken. Okay? So you roast the chicken on a fire, on burning fire, and as you roast it, you use use stick to like, take off or rather rub off the feather, the burning feather. It will give some flavor to the chicken. So after the roasting, then that's when you wash the chicken to cut it and then cook it. That's one way. The other way was that we kill the chicken, drain the blood. Of course, the other one, you also drain the blood. You kill the chicken, drain the blood, and then dip the chicken in hot water. Then take off the feather. That will help you just, nah, when I always have English, I don't know the right word, but you take off the feather. So, and then you cut the chicken open and do all that. Okay, that was how we did it. So I kind of was giving him that idea and I asked him how they did theirs. And, they, it was like there was somewhere they would just put the chicken there so that the neck is just hanging out and they cut it open so that the blood drains out. And he then said something that, he said, you cut it that way. So while it's still hanging there, it's hanging such that you can just cut the chicken open so that you can take out the, intestine, the inside. And then he said so that the chicken faces does not stain the meat. Okay. So, but this is the part I don't really show you guys, but I always have to walk the kids um, to the bus stop every morning. Yeah. All right. Back to my story. Okay. So my friend says something about staining the meat with the feces, the poo poo, the chicken poo poo, staining the meat. Uh, and I was immediately like, huh? Because not like I liked staining the meat with the feces or something, but I didn't care too much about that because, for us, whenever we killed chicken or goat, whatever it is back home. Oh no, goat is a whole different thing. It has that big uh stomach thing that you have to carefully take out and then wash, which is where the towel is. So, but for chicken, it wasn't such a big deal. There may be a little bit of stain here and there, but we will wash it. So that was fine. So I, he gave me the impression that they totally got rid of the whole intestine, the, the heart of the chicken, the liver, everything inside. So they would just take the whole thing and dump it. I was like, because if he was concerned about staining the meat, there's no way they would be eating the intestine. At least that's what I understood. And I did not say anything to him, but somewhere in my mind, I immediately knew that, okay, it wasn't going to be a good idea to help with processing the chicken. Because when we were growing up, whenever we killed goat or chicken or any of those things, as kids, we looked forward to roasting the intestine, like at least the ones that they let us even take, because they would reserve the large intestine and the stomach and all that for the pepper soup. What is pepper soup without the inside stuff? So that would be reserved for pepper soup. And, the smaller intestine. As kids, we would just roll it around some sticks and put it over fire, roast it, and just enjoy it right there. So I immediately knew that it wasn't going to be a good idea to help with the roasting because if our understanding about how to handle the inside of the meat was this different, I felt like chances are that there are other things about how I would process the meat that may end up making that they don't eat the meat. And who does that help? So I immediately knew it was not a good idea. And so we just talked about the processes and ended up going back inside the house and just spending the rest of the day having fun. So that's uh that's my experience. Tell me, what do you guys think? Does anyone else in Nigeria get rid of the whole inside organs of your chicken, your goat, and all? Does anyone else do that? Because if you do, I'm sure there are people watching this video now that will be very happy to collect your address for the next time that you have something to, uh, you are trying to kill goat or chicken so that they can come and help you. And they go, all right, see you guys back in the house. Oh yeah, you guys should now tell me, how do I look? Do I look like a good son of the Nigerian community? Hmm? I hope I'm making you guys proud. Some of you are not commenting on my videos. You are looking for trouble. Oh. You are looking for trouble. Hmm? How will I be making all this effort? Do you know how much it cost me to make all these nice wears? Hmm? Make them and go through the trouble of making a video. Hmm? If you don't comment, I'll go back to my researcher. Just do my professor thing and leave you guys alone. But yeah, comment, and share. Let your friends hear my American experience. Next time, I will tell you guys about another experience there. Of course, you know there's many, including about my neighbor. My neighbor is an old man, and once you say good morning to him, or if you just talk to him, just know you're ready to spend 1 hour there talking. 90% of what you guys are talking about, you have no clue. Oh yeah, no. Okay. I think I'm feeling myself maybe a little too much. All right, I'll head out to school now, guys. Peace out.